What if I told you that the ideal blood pressure for someone over 60 isn't a single number, and that blindly chasing the textbook target could actually harm you? Imagine two people, both with a reading of 118/72. One feels energetic, sharp, and steady on their feet. The other feels dizzy, fatigued, and lightheaded, almost as if they might pass out at any moment. The difference isn't luck, it's how your body interacts with that number. Blood pressure isn't black and white. It's one of the most personal measurements in all of medicine, and understanding it could change how you protect your heart, your brain, and your life. Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Mitch Rice, and today we're diving deep into what the best blood pressure really is for adults 60 and older. Most people think that normal or high blood pressure is the same for everyone, but here's the truth. Two people with the same reading can have completely different risks. That's why it's critical to go beyond the numbers and understand the context, the stiffness of your arteries, your kidney function, your medications, your cognitive health, and even your activity level. Ignoring these details could mean pushing your blood pressure too low, risking dizziness, falls, or kidney strain, or too high, risking heart attacks and strokes. Let's start by looking at the biggest misconception about blood pressure. There's no one-size-fits-all target. Guidelines may define normal, elevated, and stage 2 hypertension. But these categories don't tell you if that number is safe for your unique physiology. A blood pressure of 118/72 might be perfect for someone strong and active, but disastrous for another who has frailty, dizziness, or kidney issues. Your body gives you subtle warning signs when numbers are too low: lightheadedness, morning dizziness, brain fog, fatigue, or dips below 100 systolic. Ignoring these signals is like ignoring the check engine light on a car. You might get away with it for a while, but eventually something will break. Now, how do we know what's ideal? Two major studies give us insight, but you have to read the fine print. First, the 2015 SPRINT trial studied over 9,000 adults over 50. With an average age of 68. They compared an intensive target systolic below 120 to a standard target systolic below 140. The results? The lower group had fewer heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular deaths. Sounds simple enough. Shoot for less than 120, right? Not so fast. The intensive group also experienced more dizziness, fainting, kidney problems, electrolyte issues, and falls. The study showed benefits, yes, but also serious risks if your body couldn't handle that low pressure. And here's a detail most people overlook. The SPRINT trial excluded a huge portion of the real-world population. No one with diabetes, prior stroke, dementia, advanced kidney disease, or severe frailty. In other words, the results applied mainly to strong, resilient, older adults, not everyone. That's why blindly aiming for less than 120 systolic without considering your own health could backfire. Fast forward to 2021. A STEP trial in China studied over 8,500 adults aged 60 to 80, essentially repeating the same experiment. Again, lower blood pressure, reduced heart attacks, and strokes. But the side effects, dizziness, fainting, kidney strain remained a concern. Taken together, these trials tell us one critical lesson. The lower target is only beneficial if your body can tolerate it. For those with multiple conditions, frailty, or medication burdens, pushing too low is risky. So, how do you personalize your blood pressure goal? Here's the exact framework I use for my patient. If you're 60 to 79, active, independent, and without chronic conditions, aim for under 130/80. If you're in the same age group but have dizziness, frailty, multiple conditions, or on several medications, aim for under 140/90. For adults over 80, the ideal range is about 130 to 150 systolic, depending on tolerance and symptoms. If you can safely tolerate 120 or lower without side effects, it may offer extra protection, but only if your body feels good doing it. This approach highlights why two people with the same numbers might need completely different treatment plans. But numbers alone aren't enough. Monitoring and awareness are key. If you notice dizziness, lightheadedness, brain fog, fatigue, unsteadiness, cramps, or regular dips below 100 systolic, These are signals that your blood pressure may be too low. Your body is literally telling you, this is too low for me. Ignoring these warning signs can be dangerous, leading to falls, brain bleeds, or kidney damage, even if the numbers look perfect on paper. This is why managing blood pressure is not just about following guidelines. It's about treating a person, not a number. And if you want to take it even further, I've put together a comprehensive 4-9-page blood pressure reset guide that gives step-by-step instructions to safely lower your blood pressure naturally. It includes meal plans, exercises, evidence-based supplements, and strategies tailored for older adults to reduce blood pressure without causing side effects. The link is in the description, and it's designed to complement this personalized framework so you can feel confident in your own plan. Finally, knowing your target is just the beginning. Proper home monitoring is crucial because many people make mistakes that can throw off readings and lead to inappropriate adjustments. Avoiding these mistakes ensures that your numbers reflect reality, not temporary spikes or dips caused by posture, cuff placement, or timing. And if you combine accurate monitoring with personalized targets, you gain control over your heart health in a way generic guidelines can't provide. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. In the next part, we're going to dive into the exact top mistakes people make while measuring blood pressure at home, how these errors distort your understanding of your own risk, and why correcting them can dramatically improve your heart, kidney, and brain health. By the end, you'll know how to get numbers that truly reflect your body's state and avoid chasing goals that may actually harm you. So, you've got your personalized blood pressure target in mind, but here's the reality. The numbers you see at home might not always reflect your true blood pressure. And this is where most people go wrong. One of the biggest mistakes is not taking readings consistently. Blood pressure fluctuates throughout the day depending on activity, stress, posture, and even the time since your last meal. Imagine checking your pressure right after climbing stairs or rushing out the door. Of course it's going to be higher. That single number can create unnecessary worry, or worse, push you to adjust medications inappropriately. Consistency is key. Same arm, same time of day, and seated quietly for a few minutes before measurement. Missing this detail can completely distort your understanding of your risk. Another common error is cuff size and placement. Many adults use a cuff that's too small or too large, which can throw readings off by 10 to 20 points. Think about it. A cuff that's too tight will overestimate your blood pressure, making you feel like you're in danger when you're actually within a safe range. Conversely, a cuff that's too loose can underestimate your pressure, giving you false reassurance while your heart and arteries are quietly under stress. Proper placement, snug fit, and even positioning your arm at heart level are small adjustments that create big differences in accuracy. Timing and preparation are often overlooked. Caffeine, nicotine, and even talking during measurement can spike your number. If you check immediately after a cup of coffee or a stressful phone call, your readings don't reflect your baseline, they reflect temporary spikes. And this matters because basing treatment decisions on inaccurate numbers can lead to unnecessary medications or, in the case of low blood pressure, dangerous hypotension. The solution? Sit quietly for 5 minutes, breathe, and then take your reading, repeating it twice or 3 times and averaging the result. Now, here's a twist many older adults don't realize. Your body communicates through symptoms long before numbers get dangerously high or low. Feeling dizzy when standing, fatigue, brain fog, or even unsteadiness during daily activities are warning signs that your blood pressure management may need adjustment. Ignoring these signals because the numbers are fine is a common trap. This is why personal context matters more than strict adherence to generalized guidelines. Numbers are important, yes, but they're only part of the story. Your body tells you what's tolerable and what's risky, and paying attention can prevent falls, strokes, and kidney issues. Here's where the 2 big studies, the SPRINT trial and STEP trial, tie in. Both confirmed that lower systolic targets can reduce cardiovascular events, but they also showed that side effects are common if the number goes too low for your physiology. When older adults fail to consider symptoms, kidney function, medications, or frailty, Chasing a universal ideal can backfire. This is why my framework doesn't just consider age, it integrates daily function, comorbidities, and symptom feedback. Your body's tolerance tells you what's safe, not just a chart or guideline. And speaking of charts, let's talk about medications. Many people assume more aggressive treatment is always better, but combining multiple blood pressure medications without monitoring symptoms or kidney function can push systolic readings too low, creating dizziness, electrolyte imbalances, or even fainting. On the flip side, some may undertreat out of fear, leaving their heart and kidneys exposed to high pressure over time. Striking the right balance is subtle but life-saving, and it's exactly why personal monitoring and symptom awareness matter just as much as the numbers themselves. Lifestyle adjustments also play a huge role. Diets rich in potassium, regular moderate exercise, stress management, and adequate sleep all influence blood pressure naturally. Even small changes like a daily walk, cutting back on processed sodium, or improving sleep quality can shift your numbers in the right direction without increasing medication burden. And the more your body is supported by these habits, the more resilient it becomes, allowing you to safely tolerate optimal blood pressure target. Now, here's a cliffhanger that often surprises older adults. There's an underappreciated link between blood pressure management and cognitive health. Studies increasingly show that extremely low or high pressures can influence memory, focus, and even risk for dementia. That's why monitoring not only protects your heart and kidneys, but also preserves your brain function. And in the next part, we'll explore how to integrate home monitoring, symptom tracking, and lifestyle changes into a practical daily routine that keeps your blood pressure and your health optimized for decades to come.